What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Innovators Den. I am formerly known as hashtag on Instagram. Also, follow us on YouTube. I'm over here with
Steve-O Business, and we got the special Roman Woodson. What's up? We here. We're just trying to fill in and get comfortable. But there's a special guest for us today because we shot with one of his students. Actually, we talked to his students and we communicated with them at Youth Build. And right now we're currently at the
New Settlement Community Center.
New Settlement Community Center. It's a state-of-the-art facility here in the Bronx, and we're just here to highlight it and start this conversation with Roman. What's up, Roman?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I mean, this is exciting for me because I get to talk about what I love. And what I love is helping young people grow. And when I say young people, we work with young people. Well, here at the community center, where we're physically at right now, we work with individuals from the time they're born to there's no limit, right? We work with youth, children, and adults. And we have programs and services. But there's one program, if you don't mind, that I really want to talk to you about.
Please.
And it's the one that I represent.
Okay.
It's called Youth Build.
Okay.
And Youth Build is an international organization. We're all over the world. We're in 23 different countries. We're in New York City, right? There's 3 Youth Build programs in the Bronx. There's 19 in New York City. There's at least 1 in each of the 5 boroughs. And there's 19 across New York State and over 270 all across the country.
Wow. That's amazing.
There's 44 in California alone.
Wow.
All right?
Before we go into like the details on Youth Build, can you tell us about last time we were here? We did something called temperature check. Can you tell us
check, right?
what that is?
Yeah,
Tell our folks what
yeah.
that was.
All right. So temperature check is part of our culture. We call ourselves a family. We're a community. And what the temperature check is a way to tell other people how you're doing without saying anything, right? So we go from fist to 5, right? Anywhere from here to here. There's no 3, right? Because we want people to think about how they're feeling.
Right.
So it's either here, 1, 2, 4, or 5. So if somebody in the circle puts the fist up, that means that they don't want to be here. They don't want to be on this planet. They might not want to kill themselves, but they're having such a hard time struggling with whatever it is, because our young people have some real issues. You know, I tell people, thank God I'm not a young person right now, because some of the things that they're dealing with, I'm glad I don't have to deal with. So a fist means I don't want to be on this planet. I'm hurting, I'm in pain. A 1 is, it's a really bad day, and I don't know when it's going to get any better. 2 is a bad day, but I know it's going to get better.
Right.
4 is a good day, and 5 is the best day I've ever had. Right? And we want to get a couple of these together, right?
Totally.
High 5 up.
Totally.
Yeah, you got 5. I'm feeling like this right now.
I'm feeling like this.
This is
Yeah,
pretty good right now. Right?
And I feel like that it's good because, you know, you kind of check in on each other and you're able to kind of get conversations happening.
Yeah.
Right? Get them talking to each other rather than just...
Exactly. And the next part of that is we've already discussed as part of our program is how do you want people around you to move when you're having a bad day? So there's 3 different categories, right? We have one young person who feels if I'm having a bad day, just leave me alone. I need my own space.
Right.
I'm self-aware. I know I'm not good around other people. So that's one category. Another category is, you know what? If we talk to each other, then I want you around me. And then the other category, and our students kind of make a decision, is it doesn't matter who you are, if we are chill or not, let's talk, I want to get out of my bad phase.
Yeah.
So it's really good to know how to respond to somebody. And that's what we are about. We're about trying to understand the needs of the young people, because it's changed. Right? You know, as I just said, the things that young people have to deal with. And unfortunately, sometimes schools have not adapted and adjusted to the changes in the world and what's going on and the needs of the young people. So at Youth Build, what we do is we're an education and paid job training program.
Okay.
All right? Our primary focus is education because, as we know, you have to finish school. You
Right.
need to finish school. No matter how you do it, you have to finish school. If you don't finish high school or get a GED, people are either going to take advantage of you,
Right.
not give you the opportunity. Like you can't even get a city job, you can't
Right.
go to college, you can't do certain things. So we focus on the education piece, but then we also focus on skills training. Because the older you get, maybe you guys could attest to this, you need to have some skills.
Yeah.
When you're young, when you're 18 and 19, you get a pass. You could tell an employer, I'm young, I'm energetic,
Right.
train me. But when you get in your 20s, they expect you to have some certifications, some experience.
Some sort of
When you get
experience, yeah.
in your 30s, you're supposed to have more, 40s.
Right.
So we want to give young people, and we primarily work with people in communities like this, in urban communities, low-income communities. We want to give them a leg to stand on. We want to help level the playing field because education is the biggest equalizer, no matter
Right.
where you come from and what you do. So with that said, we help them get some skills, some certifications so that they can graduate. And what graduation looks like for us is when they get these credentials and we help them get a job, or we
Got
help
it.
them
Job
go to
placement.
college, or we help them go into the unions, or an apprenticeship, or an internship, or something, an advanced training program. That's what success looks like for us,
Definitely.
when somebody's able to become self-sufficient and take care of themselves.
Yeah, I think I was speaking to you about it. I got my GED in a similar program, and I took the route of like getting my GED in a program like this, and then I went on to get my SATs, and I went on to college from there. But there's just so many different opportunities that opens up, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And they're not all so accessible either. So now there's a company like YouthBuild that are popping up in other places, and they're communicating, and they're doing the marketing, like you said, in a different strategy to connect with the students, to connect with their parents, because not everybody knows about these programs. So it's about also gathering the information on how do we target this community to help them, right?
Exactly. And let me tell you, our biggest referral source are grandmothers, right?
Wow.
And mothers, and believe it or not, probation officers and parole officers and guidance counselors, people that realize that there are young people that just need a chance. They just need an opportunity. And that's why we're here. We're here to help navigate, them to navigate systems and bureaucracies and processes and
Just the struggles of being a youth.
just the
Yeah,
struggles.
in the inner city.
We were talking today because we have a new group of students, and I might want to add this right now, that we're enrolling, right?
We're
So
enrolling.
This is the time of the year. We are enrolling. We're welcoming young people. Come to us. Check us out. See what we're about. That's all we ask.
Right.
Meet other young people who are having similar experiences and similar issues, because we're, like I said, we're a community. So at the orientation, somebody was afraid of, what if I come here and I get bullied? What do I do?
Right. That's big in the community. Like,
It is, right?
Well,
And it was social media. We didn't have that.
Yeah, we
Well, you
definitely-
guys are a
yeah,
lot
no.
younger than I am, but
Nah, I,
we didn't.
I didn't have it to this level at all.
Yeah,
No, that's,
exactly. So, and public speaking
Right.
is a thing. They want to be streamers. They want to understand digital media and marketing and entrepreneurship and things like that. So what we do is offer them those skills and the knowledge and the tools that they need so that they can work in different spaces.
right.
Our primary focus, to be completely transparent, has always been, in the 40 years YouthBuild has existed, construction and carpentry.
Wow.
Like each YouthBuild program offers a construction and carpentry pathway.
Got
So they learn such things as painting, how to paint,
Right.
how to plaster, how to put down floors, how to put up a ceiling, plumbing and electrical work. Just, if I could just call your attention to right behind us is a garden, a flower garden that our YouthBuild students worked on.
Hydroponics too.
Yeah, hydroponics, that's how we doing it up here. Yeah, exactly, right? So they learn skills, and at the same time, they give back to the community.
Right.
About a year ago, we worked in, this is a really good story, we worked in a homeless shelter for young mothers and pregnant women, right here in our community. So the young people went there and built a huge flower garden for the women who were in the homeless shelter because they wanted that garden therapy.
Right.
So the women in the shelter wanted to give back, And we were trying to give to them, but they didn't have anything to give. You know, they're in a shelter. But what they did say is they can cook. So they cooked for our young people, and they all ate together. And that's what it's about. I tell people, if you ever want to feel good about your situation, do something for somebody who's less fortunate than you. Then you'll realize that, you know what, I don't have it that bad.
Yeah.
But that's what we're about. We're about giving back to the community, helping the community, and helping our young people realize their full potential.
So here, students, boys or girls, can come and get certs.
What are the ages?
Yeah. So we work with 17 to 24.
Got it.
And yes, certifications. Some of the certifications they'll get their OSHA, 30-hour construction health and safety.
Right.
They'll get their flagger credential, they'll get their scaffolding credential, they'll get either their high school diploma or high school equivalency.
Right.
It used to be a GED.
Right.
When you went, it was a GED.
Yeah.
Now it's a high school equivalency.
Right.
It's a little tougher now. The test is a little tougher.
Yeah, I heard it got tougher.
Yeah, because the U.S. Department of Education don't want people dropping out.
Is
You know,
there
just saying-
tutoring programs too? Like
Oh,
that come
absolutely.
and learn? Like
Absolutely. So we have Department of Education teachers. They're really good at what they do, but we also have tutors. And we meet people where they are, because there's different levels. And the worst thing is to have a young person go into a classroom that's too fast for them or too slow for them.
Right.
So we want to meet them where they are. I'm glad you asked that.
And the onboarding process for a parent or a student, if they want to come on their own, they don't have to come with a parent if they.
No, they don't. Now, I'd love to see a parent, a guardian, a friend.
Of course.
Because it absolutely takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
So I want to know who your support system is.
Right.
And if you have support. So if you are a mother, a grandmother, a caregiver, even a foster parent, or a guidance counselor or a social worker,
Yeah.
come, check us out, have a conversation. One thing that we pride ourselves on is nobody leaves here with nothing. You're going to leave here either enrolling in the program or a referral to another resource.
Or more
Got it.
information.
Or more
Yeah.
information.
Right.
Because that's where the knowledge is. That's where the power is.
Right.
And
Totally.
information. And sometimes people
100%.
just don't know what's out there.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't know about the hydroponic before you came
Yeah,
out.
no,
not at
no,
all.
not at all.
Yeah.
No, and in general, like a lot of our youth don't think that there's a way out, so to speak, sometimes, right?
yeah,
So that's really important to
absolutely.
understand that there are ways to go about it. There's not just like
There's
when-
options.
There's options, exactly.
There's
Like when I was young, one of my friends went into the military, and that he felt like that was the only thing available for him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I took a different route.
Right.
And that's unfortunate. You just made me think about, I just read this, what's the number one, I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to ask you first. What's the number one reason you think why young people drop out of school?
I would say the bullying or insecurities about themselves in their community.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's also like the style of learning. So, you know, we're kind
yeah.
of
It's
indoctrinated.
outdated,
Yeah,
right?
we kind of
Yeah.
indoctrinated in just sitting in this classroom
Yeah.
for X amount of hours
Yeah.
and, you know, capturing that information.
Exactly, and
Without,
one person just teaching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One-
And we don't
they're
know
talking
how
to us and we're
others
just
being at
listening.
home to focus. So now you here have to focus,
Yeah.
but you wasn't trained at home to focus. So,
Exactly.
so it's about here you can learn how to focus to get to your certifications, to get to your career.
And at a different pace based on how you learn, right?
Exactly, right?
Roman, one question. So what inspired you to join the Youth Build community?
Oh man, this movement, it's a movement and it's really powerful. So I worked for a time in the financial sector, right?
Okay.
I made one time, a long time ago, I made some good money, right? Maybe not so much now. But as I started to get older, I realized that I'm not gonna be here forever, right? When I realized that I have more days behind me than ahead of me, I wanted to create a legacy. I wanted to give something back. So I started volunteering, and I volunteered for this organization and met young people who they had the potential, but they just didn't have the guidance. They didn't have the mentoring, they didn't have the training, and I wanted to be a part of their growth in their journey. I wanted to help change lives. Because at New Settlement YouthBuild and in YouthBuild programs all across New York, all across the world, we absolutely help change lives.
Wow.
So when I realized the importance of this job, that's when I made the move and realized that this was my calling. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
And if somebody feels that way, we have quite a lot of guests in the show. If somebody feels like they want to give back through Youth Build, how can they go
Oh
about
man,
that?
that's wonderful. I would encourage them to call us, visit our website. Can I say it?
Yes,
All right,
tell us right now. Right there.
It's newsettlement.org/youthbuild. So we're part of the larger organization, New Settlement, and we are Youth Build. We are always looking for not just young people, but for superstars like you guys in the community.
Oh, man.
Because you guys have something to offer. You can tell your story, and somebody that's going to touch somebody. There's a young person out there right now who needs to hear what you've been through.
Right.
So we're looking for business leaders to come in and just tell their story. How did they get through whatever they went through to get to where they are?
Yeah.
And it's going to touch someone else. I believe young people, they need exposure
Right.
to different things. They don't know all of the, I still don't know all of the different opportunities out there, the different jobs out there, the different possibilities out there. So we're looking for mentors, we're looking for coaches, we're looking for people who want to impact young people in our community.
That's crazy. Well, me and Danny, we've been thinking already about creating a curriculum after we've been working with the Youth Build.
Wow.
We're like, how can we create a curriculum to not only educate, students, but also anybody who want to learn about
Entrepreneurs.
marketing,
Yeah.
and take a step for themselves or a company they're working for, So you guys inspired us to do that.
Oh man,
you know?
Yeah.
I feel fortunate that the young people got an opportunity to meet you. Because let me tell you, after you left, there was a ton of questions. It's like,
That's
how do we
awesome.
get to do what they do? And that's how you should know that you are changing lives by the work that you're doing here. Because when somebody sees it and they start asking questions, how could I do it? That's when you know there's a need.
Right.
So I would love to be a part of that and help you guys get funding or get whatever resources or capital that you need. So you can do that, because we need to own our own businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to take control of our
Right.
community. We need to help each other out. Like,
Right.
that's what we do. That's what you do. There's no reason why we shouldn't do it together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's
I mean,
powerful.
One major thing you just said, we sparked some brains when we were here last time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that's incredible for me, because I think I mentioned it to you. My brother was the person that sparked my brain, because he went into becoming a physician, and he knew that he was going to be a physician. So knowing that we sparked somebody's mind to create their own business or to go into digital marketing, whatever the case is, I think it's awesome.
They absolutely said, when are you guys coming back? So you might have to, you might not need to tell me right now on camera. But,
no, we definitely, it'll be
definitely
an
want
honor
you
to circle
come
back and connect with the students and
Yeah.
and the community as well. I know you guys have events coming up now that the school year has started. And
One
that's
major
awesome.
thing is that we're also from here.
Right,
When
we're
I
from
came from the
Bronx.
Dominican Republic. I lived in Walton in 167. Right.
Right.
here.
Man, I could throw a rock.
Yeah. It's right
around the
It's right
corner.
here.
Yeah,
It's right here. So
So
know,
you
we-
know the community.
yeah,
you know
this
the-
is
you
this
You
is
know
where
the
I'm from.
needs of the community,
Yes. Yeah.
right? You know what's going on here and what's happening.
Right.
And sometimes our young people just don't have anything to do,
Yeah.
right? And that boredom
Yep.
creates issues and it creates
Totally.
problems, and that's when people get in trouble. And
Yeah.
we want to give them something to do. We want to engage them.
Especially now, we live in an age that there's so much trying to pull your attention with social media. There's TikToks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes,
And everybody
the
puts
Twitch.
their highlight there, but they
Yes.
don't put their real life there.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're comparing yourself to
So I
different
try
type
to
of
compete
lifestyles.
with other
Yeah.
students or other people's lifestyles, and they come to school and they feel less than, when that's not the real world. You know what I mean?
And in reality, you just want to be a better version of yourself rather than just
Yeah.
somebody else's version of who they portraying that they are.
Exactly. That's a really good point, because for some people, when they see that, they think it's true, right? And just like you said, they get depressed, they feel like they're not worthy, or they'll never get to that point. So that's something that we need to address.
Right.
How could I travel to Bali every other week?
Exactly, right? Yeah.
I want to be in Bali. But, that's obviously comes with some sort of funding. Either they're influencers that they're getting funded through the hotel that they're staying in, the airline, etc. There's different ways to get there, but obviously, they don't see that and they don't hear that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about some
Let's
numbers.
talk about the
because
actual
YouthBuild is a big organization, and there's a lot of students dropping out How,
Man,
like, you know,
yeah.
like, and we can't even how we fix that.
All right, so let's talk about at 30,000 feet, right? And then we're gonna bring it closer to home. So all across the nation, there's over 250,000 young people who are what we call disconnected. They're not working, they're not doing anything, not engaged.
Wow.
But here in New York City, there's almost 140, 150,000.
Wow.
17 to 24 who are not doing anything. And as they get older and don't do anything, then a couple things happen. They end up getting in trouble, right? Going to prison. They end up not working, not putting back in the community, and they end up being a bane on their family and everything else.
Wow.
So the way to deal with that is to help them get a basic education. And that, just like I'm sure you can talk about, it opens up doors.
Totally.
Because if you don't have that basic education, you won't get opportunities, people won't give you a chance, or they'll take advantage of you. So that's our primary focus, to help people finish school, but then also get some skills.
So you guys also do bilingual, Spanish speaking as well, a little bit?
We don't here.
Okay.
But one beauty about the program is we've taken on what's called the holistic approach, which means that we address barriers to education and employment.
Right.
Yeah.
And although we don't offer the program in Spanish, we have a partner that teaches ESL, right, to help, especially with the influx of immigrants that are coming over.
Right.
So a young adult can go to one of our partners, learn English to get at a basic level where they can take advantage of the programs
Wow,
here.
that's awesome.
So that's what helps us more than anything, our partners. We can't do this by ourselves.
Right.
So we have different partners to be able to address those needs that we don't have.
Right.
We have a partner that helps out with mental health issues or substance use issues or housing issues. Somebody told me today that, and they're just starting the program with us, is they don't know if they'll be here tomorrow because he's homeless and he rides the subway all night. And he says by the time he gets here the next day, he can't sit because his legs are hurting.
From
Wow.
sitting
And that's
all night.
real
Yeah.
from an 18-year-old,
Wow.
right?
Yeah,
So we
that's
have to
tough.
address those issues before we can deal with, the basic needs, before we can talk about anything else.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Youth
that's-
Build
that's
programs
important.
address those needs. 44 Youth Build programs in the United States. There was this young adult who, he graduated the program, didn't have a job yet. He wanted, not in the United States, in California. He wanted to go to California. He wanted to be a movie star. So I didn't want him to go because he had about $150 in his pocket. And half of that was going to be the bus ticket. So we put him in touch with another Youth Build program in Los Angeles that had a YMCA. They had housing there. So he took the bus. I think it took about a week to get there. But he
Wow.
got to Los Angeles. He wanted to be a movie star. He got to Los Angeles. He connected with the other Youth Build program where they were able to give him a place to sleep, some money, helped him get a job. He did a training because each Youth Build program has different training pathways.
Right.
He did a pest control training. And he called me about 6, 7 months after he'd been there, and he said, Mr. Woodson, I just want to let you know I'm doing okay, and I hired 6 people.
Wow.
He has his own company.
That's incredible.
So sometimes it takes a change of scenery, a change of friends, a change of environment. So that's success to us.
Of
Or
course.
somebody able to go from homeless to having their own place.
Yeah.
That's success. So we've had plenty of success stories, and we highlight them. We have about an 87% graduation rate.
That's
So about
amazing.
8 out of 10 people who come to us, high school dropouts, end up getting their HSE, learning some skills, and either getting a job or doing something positive in the community.
Can you speak a little bit on the steps? Like, let's say we bring a student in. What are the steps? They'll get into one curriculum, and then what are the steps after that?
Okay, all right. It's a full-time program where young people come to us from 8:45 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and our day is a mixture of, there's the education piece, and then some other pieces that we do during the day are the vocational skills training, leadership development. So we want them to build character in their soft skills and life skills and social skills.
Right.
So we teach such things as time management, organization skills, public speaking, conflict resolution, public advocacy, how to speak up for themselves. And so that's the leadership development. There's college and career prep. And then there's the counseling and case management, where we work with them on a one-on-one basis or as a group to deal with those personal issues. And the program lasts about an academic school year. We run the same calendar as the school calendar, but some people finish in as quick as, I'd say, 3 to 4 months. But then we have some people who are still here 2 years later.
Okay.
Because each person's journey is different, and one person can't compare themselves to somebody else.
Of course.
So if you tell me, let's say you, Steve, tell me, I got to the 12th grade, I had all my credits, I just couldn't pass one Regents, you might be here for a shorter period of time than if someone, Daniel, if you come to me and say, I got to the 9th grade, I didn't have any credits, I got locked up 3 years ago, and now I'm here, so it might be a little more ground to cover to get to the same result.
Right.
But, so that's the path. And each person has what's called an individualized development plan. So you and I would talk about what are your personal goals, what are your career goals, and what are your education goals, and how can we come together to help you reach them.
Got it. That's beautiful.
Yep.
What if like a kid is watching the show right now and they want to be the next Roman, right? What steps would you say that they take to get there?
I would say, come in, give us a call, go to our website, send us an email, scan the QR code, fill out, we have a short application. Come in and talk to us. Come in and meet with us. We have a great team. We have a great marketing manager, a guy, Moises, he's wonderful at what he does. They might want to do the digital pathway. I'm not strong in that area. We have some educators. They might want to take that pathway. But the first step is to do something, is to take it.
Right.
Now,
Walk in the door.
you got to do that, right?
Walk in the door.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Yeah. You have to take the first step. And for our young people, sometimes that's the hardest. There's a lot of anxiety over meeting somebody new.
Of course.
Somebody told me it took them 3 months just to come in. They kept rescheduling appointments and canceled appointments, but they told me that they're happy that they did, and that's what it's about. And it's the same person. I'm going to tell you one other thing. It's the same person that said, Mr. Woodson, you remind me of my father. And I'm like, why? Is he tall, dark, and handsome too? and she said, no, silly. You remind me, or you make me think of what I would want in him if I knew him.
Wow.
She never met her father.
Wow.
And I felt blessed that I was able to be that person that she needed to be okay, to let her know that, what a man needs to do.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. And
well, you lead by example, and you've done
You've
done a great job, and you've
Thank you.
inspired us, and you've been doing a great job here at YouthBuild, and
Thank you.
It's appreciated.
We have a good team, because I cannot do this without the whole team.
How does a program like this get funding?
That's good. So I'm going to sound like an infomercial right now, but
It's all right.
we are primarily funded by the United States Department of Labor. So we are actually in the federal budget, YouthBuild programs all across the U.S. So we get about YouthBuild programs, receive money each year from the federal government to be able to offer these services.
Right.
Man, how could I forget the most important thing? We pay a stipend. The young people earn a paycheck while they're here.
So I could, like, if I wanted to sign up, if I was a student,
Yeah.
I could get paid
You
to
could
come
earn a
in too?
paycheck.
That's
Up
amazing.
Guys,
$200.
this is the plug.
Yeah, up to $200 every 2 weeks
Wow.
amazing.
for showing up. And I don't know how
Yeah,
much you
just-
made when you were in high school.
I didn't make no
But
money.
I didn't make any money either, right? But it's to help them, be able to maintain.
Right,
There's
yeah.
a couple of other perks. They get Metro cards, they get school lunch, they get, we go on trips and do fun things, but they earn money. So how we're able to stay in existence, because we are a nonprofit, is we have federal government funding, there's state government funding, and then our local city council also steps in. So our elected officials realize, in our neighborhoods in New York, that there's a need for this, and there's a benefit to having a young person go to school
Of course.
versus going to prison, or
Right.
go to school versus not doing anything.
Right.
Totally.
So it's city, state, and federal, and also there's private funding. There's foundations, there's corporations, Burlington just sponsored us. You ever go to a store and they ask you, I feel like everybody does, do you want to donate to this cause?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Burlington Coat Factory did it for Youth Build Program.
Oh, that's
and I
awesome.
forget how much money they raised, and I don't always donate when, when I'm asked, but somebody donated, and they raised, I think, about $1 million or something
That's
like
awesome. We appreciate you guys.
that. Yeah, exactly.
We take donations too.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's say for kids, like let's say they come here, they take the courses, and they want to start a business. You guys can turn around and become an incubator as well. That you guys can like almost raise grants for students that want to start or started a business, or
Or at least connect them
not
with
that
some
far.
sort of program like SBA or something.
We do.
Like that.
We do work with small business services, New York City Small Business Services. We work with Workforce Ones. Workforce Ones is New York City's employment and training agency. They have what's called ITA grants or ITG grants to help people get advanced training and also help people start businesses. So we also offer a paid internship. So let's say we have a young adult who goes through our program and is not yet ready for their first job. Sometimes they need to do an internship just to get their feet wet, to get some more experience. But yes, we want young people to be entrepreneurs. But there's a process and there's steps that they need to go through. Sometimes
There's
it's hard
definitely
to
a lot
get
of
them to
steps.
realize that, right? Yeah, like they want to be here. Everybody wants to start here.
We all want to be
Everybody
up
wants
there.
to start- Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we all want to start at 100.
But that's why it's good for them to hear your stories, so they know, this didn't happen overnight.
And we're
I didn't
still
just
learning,
show up
you know?
here. And you're still, and that's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
thing they
that's-
need to hear.
Yeah, we
that
still
every
always.
day
process.
you're growing. Every day you're learning new things, and it's good, and it's part of the process, and it's
Totally.
okay.
Yeah, it's
okay
fine.
to fail.
And it's,
We
yeah,
failed our
it's-
way here, guys.
Yeah, yeah. We always say that. We always
failed
say
our
that.
way. I like
because,
that.
Because it's a fact. Like I think it was JFK had a quote like that, like about failure. Like it's only the one that fails the most that actually reaches their goal or something like that. And that's really how.
We failed our way.
Think
If you
of
call this
things.
success, we failed our way here, and we still failing, and we learn from our last mistakes.
I'm gonna give
Exactly.
you credit for that, like the first 2 times, and then we failed our way here. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good, and it's true, right?
It's true. It's
Because you
true.
got knocked down and you got back up.
Yes,
And
just
that's
keep
what it's
getting
about.
back up.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
you mentioned something as just like walking in the door. It's just like start with one task, finish that,
Yeah.
and then try to
Yeah.
You
So
got to
many
be on
people
time
feel
for
like-
yourself. You got to be on time for yourself.
So many people feel like I have to have all the bullet points before I
Yes.
even start.
yes.
Yeah.
But what we tell them is, you know what? Once you start, it's going to take on a life of its own.
So we went to an event, Aspire event, and Barbara Cochran. I'm sure you.
Oh
remember
yeah,
her.
the real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, mogul.
Yes,
Shark
she,
Tank.
she spoke about it. She said like a lot of people wait to have all the ducks in a row before
Yeah,
actually
before they start.
She was like, my suggestion is to start.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
Because that's really how she kind of started the Cochran Group and
Yeah, yeah.
look what she's become. So.
Wow.
it's
And
really
a lot of
touched on
people,
that.
like you said, they're trying to emulate the end, the final,
The final, yeah,
the
the
final result. But me and Danny, we've been enjoying the journey, right? The journey is where we've been learning,
Yeah.
and like we look at the success through the journey, not the end goal, because we're nowhere close to where we want to be.
Wow, where do you want to be?
Oh, really far from here. But we started here.
You started it,
We
right?
started in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And we was raised here. So I think it's very important for us to highlight what you guys are doing and inspire the people watching or the students watching or the parents watching that there's an opportunity for all of us.
Entrepreneurs watching, someone that wants to help their community out.
Oh,
'Cause
we'd love
we
to
know a
hear
lot
from
of
you.
people from the inner city, and I think that it would be awesome to connect you guys with all these different people that we.
Oh, we would love to. We would love to hear from the community. We need them. We can't do this by
Right.
ourselves. Yeah.
All right,
That's
well,
great.
guys, we had an amazing segment right now in the Innovators Den. We got let's shout out the building. This building is very
New
special.
Settlement Community Center.
New Settlement Community Center.
Right, it's a new state-of-the-art facility here in the Bronx
Yep.
that you guys have access to come to if you guys want
There's
to
a
be a part
swimming
of
pool
it.
here.
There's wait, it's an Olympic.
Olympic size.
Oh,
Olympic
man.
size
Oh,
swimming pool.
Olympic.
Olympic
Yeah, yeah,
size
yeah.
swimming
There's an
pool.
Olympic.
Also,
size
the
swimming-
address is
1501 Jerome
Avenue.
Avenue.
Right.
Jerome Avenue.
By
on
the
corner-
4-train.
Yep, right by the 4-train on the corner of
Actually, right here.
172nd Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, which
behind
train
us.
stop is that?
The
167?
4-train.
No, that's
So,
170.
there's Mount Eden over there and
Mount
170
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
There y'all go,
Yeah, right
guys.
between 2 train stations.
So it's a special location. They have a a backyard garden rooftop here, and
Yep.
you know, you guys can embrace the location and connect with the community.
Take a class. There's dance classes, there's samba, there's mixed martial arts
Oh, there
for
you
people
go.
of all ages.
There you
That's
go. So
awesome.
you guys could find that on the Youth Build website, correct?
Newsettlement.org.
Newsettlement.org.
/YouthBuild, right?
/YouthBuild. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Join now.
Amazing.
All right,
Thank
so
you so
that's
much,
another
Roman.
episode on the Innovators Den.
been amazing.
Make sure to follow, subscribe, share, and like.
Like,
and
appreciate you guys.
appreciate you guys. It's a wrap.